Today we play golf.
Let me show you how we do it in the pros.
Welcome to Behind the Golf Brand Podcast.
I never miss with the 7-iron.
A conversation with some of the most interesting innovators and entrepreneurs behind the biggest names in golf.
My friends with the golf clubs. I lived on the golf course. I lived on the driving range.
From pro talk
You should learn something from each and every single round you play.
to fun from on and off the green.
Why would you play golf if you don't play it for money?
Just let me put the ball in the hole.
This is Behind the Golf Brand Podcast with Paul Liberatore.
What's up, guys? Paul from Golfers Authority. Welcome to the Behind the Golf Brand Podcast. This week, I have my good friend Ronan Galvin from Sunday Golf. You guys probably know what Sunday Golf is. If you don't, you're probably not on social media or really play all that much golf. They are a cool golf bag company that has taken off in the last couple of years, especially for the players out there that want to walk or carry, especially if you're going to be playing like a 9 holes or a par 3 or go to the range and you don't want to carry a bag. They actually designed a whole company around a Sunday golf bag, which is really cool and really innovative if you think about it, because no one was really doing that. So I'm really excited to have them on the show to kind of hear about where they're at, what they're up to, and where they're going. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, Paul.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. We're actually visiting PGA Tour Superstore tomorrow. So came out here for 2 days to visit them and some other like country clubs that we're in and things like that, but based out of San Diego.
Yeah, you were saying when we talked that you're like by Petco Park, right?
Yeah, right there. So it was pretty crazy the last couple of weeks with kind of the Padres and being in the playoffs and everything like that. We don't get a lot of playoff series or games in San Diego, so it was nice to have a little bit of excitement this season.
I love the Padres. I really do. Even though they're in the same division as Diamondbacks, like I don't know. I just love the Padres. I love that stadium is sick, dude. That stadium is so nice.
Yeah.
Like it's so nice. And comparing to Bank One Ballpark, or what they call it now, Chase Field in Phoenix, like I feel like our field is like a dungeon in comparison to like Petco. Like it just looks so bright and airy and cool, and it's San Diego, and it's always like 30 degrees cooler there than it is here in the summertime. So is your office like on the grounds? Because there's like all those big buildings connected to it, right?
Yeah, it's in one of those buildings connected to it exactly. So it's not on the ground; it's on like the second level. But yeah, I mean,
you can look. Yeah, you're right there.
You reach out and touch it for sure. So we got pretty lucky with the space, and we started with one office, and we've since expanded to 2 offices. So it's just kind of worked out, in terms of like the growth.
So is that where you guys kind of started? Your office was there, or do you guys like have a like a different place where you started?
Yeah, no, we started the office there. Started off as one office, like I said, and then just expanded to 2 during COVID. The neighbors, they left during COVID, and then the landlord gave us a good deal on the second spot, so we took advantage of it.
It's not like it's really good real estate too. It's like right there. I mean, it could be like, oh yeah, it's a warehouse in National City or some crap.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, you can't beat the location. A lot of us like live downtown, so it makes commuting easier. We actually have like one guy, he lives right across the hall from the office, because they're like live work condos. Cool. So I think he probably has the shortest commute of anyone in San Diego.
That's insane. I mean, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So do you walk to work then? Is that how close you are downtown?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's about 3 blocks. So yeah, makes things easy.
Do we go to San Diego like all the time? So like I know the whole downtown. I love your downtown too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little sketch in some parts, but not that bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nothing's cheap in San Diego. So
yeah, that's the problem. But
that is the problem.
Yeah, I would love to live somewhere else, just because it's so expensive, but at the same time, like it's hard to beat San Diego when it comes.
You can't beat San Diego. San Diego's like heaven, dude. It's like it literally is. Like it's never above 70 there, like every day. Yeah. The weather is never bad. Like it isn't like you're not gonna have like storms all that often. Like it's just perfect. But I mean, it's perfect. Like literally, I would live there in a heartbeat. If I had an extra $1 million, I would buy a small condo.
Yeah. No, it's the best.
So are you a professional golfer?
No, not at all. Not by a long shot.
Growing up, like, did you play with your like dad or like your grandparents, or what'd you do?
No, I actually didn't play golf till like late 20s. I'm 34 now. So maybe like just a little south of 30, maybe 28, 29. I kind of picked it up because a lot of my friends were playing. So I didn't have kind of those I still even feel now when I play golf, I don't like fully have like a smooth or just like a natural swing, kind of like where you develop those skills when you're younger as a kid, if you're playing basketball or baseball or football, right? Like you kind of like know how to do it because you've been doing it for so long. But yeah, I wasn't really involved in golf like growing up. My parents didn't play, or my brothers, nothing like that. But I was in the golf industry since like I graduated college, but I never really played up until 28, 29.
How'd you get into the golf industry yourself? Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You told me that when we first met.
Yeah. So I graduated school in 2010, and I was supposed to go for a year to China to teach English with a couple of my roommates from college. We moved to Guangzhou, China, which is like southern China, for those who don't know. And there's just a lot of like factories and everything. And I didn't know that at the time, but while we were out there, that's where I kind of started to learn how to like do sourcing and product development and manufacturing and things like that. And, 1 year turned into 2 years turned into, I think it was like 4.5 to 5 years total that I was out there. And while I was out there, like I said, I learned how to like met with a lot of factories across a variety of industries. And one of them that really stuck was like soft goods, particularly like golf bags. And just being from San Diego, it was easy enough for me to get in touch with a lot of the San Diego brands like Callaway and TaylorMade and things like that, and kind of just help them manufacture and develop like some of their golf bags. So did that, lived in China for 5 years, and then the latter half, the other 5 years after that to 2020, 2021, I was kind of doing that same thing, but just here in San Diego, and then flying back and forth from China to do that before I started Sunday Golf.
See, that's just really special because like you learn by doing unknowingly, right? Like you were like, that wasn't like you were like, I'm going to go to China and I'm going to be a distributor or go into like, whatever. It's like you learn the business because you were there and you like figured it out, and you probably spoke the language, right? I'm assuming, or understood the language pretty well.
I didn't understand it when I moved out there, but you learn pretty quick when you have to, know how to order food, right? If you don't know how to order,
you have to eat.
Yeah, you got to eat, right? So, over like the first year, kind of learned pretty quick, like the basics, and then like year 2 or 3 kind of got a lot better. So I'd say I'm like conversationally fluent. Now, next time I go back, that'll be put to the test because I haven't been back since COVID, so really like last time I was in China was December 2019. So it's going to be 3 years, which is crazy that I haven't been to China. So I'm sure.
When are you going back? Are you going back soon?
I don't know. Like obviously in China right now, they have like a 14-day quarantine. And it's just like, I don't want to do that. Right. So, and luckily like our factory partners and everything like that, we've been able to conduct a lot of business just via, Zoom calls and messaging and things like that. And we've been able to develop like the products fairly well. So
the workflow, you don't need to be there.
Yeah. Whereas like before COVID, I like that was a bright spot of COVID, because before COVID, it was like going over there to do like changes and give feedback and things like that. Yeah. And so it's like going over there, it really is important to go over there and meet with the factory partners, but it just takes a lot out of you by the time like the time change, the difference in food, even trying to like work with like your company, in the West Coast, right? Like they'll be getting up when you're going to bed and vice versa. And so, and then you're out there for a week and then you fly back and then, you're kind of all
so tired.
Yeah. You're all turned around for another week. Right. So it's like double negative in a way.
And especially now you said the 2-week quarantine, now it's a whole month, it's a month process. And you're like, forget that.
Yeah. So it's like, if you want to do a two-week quarantine and then be out there for 7 to 10 days, right? Like there's a whole month, gone just, in China. So no plans to go back yet. I would like to for sure, but yeah, I'm just gonna wait till everything, goes back to normal.
If you need to,
If I need to,
maybe this is the new normal, right? Like
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
you
yeah,
go once every couple of years, or if
yeah,
there's a major problem, or you switch factories or something. But
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Trust me, I would definitely be in favor of that.
what was your first idea? Like, when did you start figuring out like, hey, it'd be cool to start our own golf bag company? Because, I mean, I wouldn't call it a saturated market, but you have established brands that have just been doing it forever. So, like you have the big five definitely doing
Yeah,
it, and then you have
yeah,
a couple smaller ones that are pretty popular.
yeah.
But like, what made you like say, hey, we should do our own bag company?
Yeah, good question. Kind of as I mentioned, I wasn't always really into golf. I thought it's too long, boring, kind of that traditional stereotype, but luckily here in San Diego, there's a par three course called the Loma Club. It's just like a little 9-hole. It's almost a pitch and putt really, but
Where's
it's
it
just
at?
right in Liberty Station, like Point Loma.
Oh, is it? Oh, I should
Yeah,
go, like,
yeah, it's
oh,
fun.
I know where it's. I think I know where it's at. Like, it's on the way to Point Loma, right? Like,
Yeah,
you make that turn, and then start
yep,
going that way. It's on the corner,
yep,
right?
exactly,
I know
exactly.
exactly where that is. It's by the
Exactly,
marina,
yeah.
kinda. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's a fun course. So, like,
It's always
we
busy because
were
I'm like, what course is that? And I'm like, why is it always
oh,
packed?
yeah. Which was crazy is, like, again, before COVID, like, same with probably many golf courses, but you used to just, like, show up anytime and, like, not make a tee time. They just, like, send you out. Now it's crazy. Yeah, that course is packed, like, all day. But, yeah, I
Even
mean,
still,
it's just yeah, even still. So it was just right outside downtown, and we would just go there, and it was easy. Like you showed up, it's guys in shirts and the sandals, and have a
nobody
beer, and
cares, and you're
nobody
just gonna have
cares.
fun.
And the longest hole is like 120, 130 yards, so you can't like mess it up too much, even if you're a beginner golfer.
Yeah.
And I remember the first few times out there, I was like, yeah, this is like more my style or more my jam, right? Kind of that's really what got me into playing golf, I guess. And just given my background with like golf bags, it was easy enough for me to get a sample made or like a prototype just because I thought it was ridiculous having to carry like your full size bag. It's either you carry your full size bag with all your clubs, or you take half of the clubs out and you still carry your full size bag, and then you have like your 4 or 5 clubs rattling around. So it didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Or you
So
buy some janky bag that's like made of
yeah,
fabric.
yeah, exactly. And so it was easy enough for me to get like a prototype made. And then we went back there, and just on that same day, we had like 2 or 3 groups of golfers like come over to our hole and ask me specifically, like, hey, where can I get that bag? And so it's kind of then
For
when the light
reals?
bulb, yeah. And so then I
Like,
was
you
like,
weren't
oh,
doing it, you're just walking with that bag, and people see like, what bag is that?
yeah, no branding on it, or we didn't have a name at the time or anything like that. And then, yeah, so I think we said, hey, maybe there's something there. Let's just kind of like take a flyer on it and see if we can do something with it.
Cool.
Yeah. And so obviously, when thinking about a name or a brand, we wanted something that we could relate to. And, if you look at like a lot of the
Dude, so
bigger,
smart. You're
yeah,
fucking so smart. Your friggin' brand name is like so smart.
yeah. So it was like, you look at all like the bigger brands in golf, or a lot of them, they're still like so performance based, where everyone
Or
that
stodgy.
yeah, traditional or whatever you want to call it. But like a lot of
Yeah.
my friends and, people that we kind of golf with, it was definitely always more just about having a good time. And obviously you want to like respect the game and respect the course and all that stuff. But it was more of like getting out there for a few hours with your friends, playing some golf, having a few beers, listening to some music. So obviously there were some guys who shot really well and some guys who had the highest score, so to speak.
Nobody
So,
cares. We're just having
yeah,
fun.
nobody cares. Exactly. So we kind of wanted a brand that really like reflected that. And I think, like you said, I think we did a good job with like naming it and kind of how we've like,
Well, the Sunday bag, right? And you're like,
yeah.
Sunday golf, like, dude,
Mhm.
like, you literally just took the word like of what the bag
Mhm.
is and what the brand
Mhm.
describes. Like, that's even to find that URL, like, that's freaking great.
Yeah, we got lucky there for sure.
You got the first iteration, then you realize, like, wait a minute, people might actually want to buy this because you guys would buy it, right? And you're like, there's probably more people just like you. There's lots of courses like this all across the United States.
Mhm.
I mean, but your timing was like perfect though, right? Because that's COVID,
yeah.
COVID post barely, into COVID.
Well, we put the order in like in January of 2020, right? Thinking, okay, we'll have it in time for golf season of 2020.
By March. Yeah, by April.
Yeah, March, April, or whatever it was. And then COVID came like February, and then they're like, yeah, ports are closed, this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, like we don't know when you're going to get the bags and all this kind of stuff. And we're like, oh my God. So fast forward, we ended up launching in August of 2020. And to your point, it obviously COVID was a bad thing, but it ended up being like the best thing for golf. And it really, I think it helped us too, because it gave us like 9 months to like kind of promote the brand or plan and, just get our ducks in a row. Whereas like if we were going to launch in March or April, it would have been
You'd be chasing your tail. You'd be chasing it. You'd just be like, you wouldn't have time to think, right? You'd be like, oh, we got to get more units out or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So it ended up,
and you would have sold out like right away.
Totally. So it, again, I think everything happens for a reason, right? But yeah, we launched in August, had great sell through, and we're able to get another container in there before the holidays, and we sold through both of those.
Oh, you were? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we sold through both of those containers in the first year, and then the bad thing was we were then like out of product because then Chinese New Year came the year after, right? As it always does, but
February, right? And then like it shuts down.
Yeah, so then we didn't get like
down for a month.
Yeah, so we couldn't get stuff back in until like May, April or May, the following year. So we're like shit. But now like we're finally like caught up, and supply chains are kind of back to normal for the most part. So yeah, we're in a good spot now.
Who are you guys? So it's you and your partner, right? Your buddy.
Yeah, I got two business partners, Casey and Galen. Casey runs a lot of like the finance, kind of the numbers, and Galen does a lot of like the sales and the logistics.
Now, like, do you have like a warehouse in San Diego, or do you 3PL it, or what do you do?
Yeah, we use a 3PL. They're based out of Poway. Yeah, so it's pretty good.
The 3PLs are expensive, but they do everything for you, but they're so expensive.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's pros and cons, right? Like if we were to open our own warehouse,
exactly,
you're dealing with like factory
running a whole nother company.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Employees and shipping and all this.
Those
BS.
employees just like don't show up one day, or whatever the case is, and you're constantly having to find new workers.
You get what you. It's like the cost benefit analysis, essentially, right? Like, is it really worth us bringing in this pain? It's like dealing with Amazon, right? It's like the same thing. It's like, because I know you guys are on Amazon too. It's like, okay, well, there's a lot of costs associated with Amazon. There's Amazon, the whole issue. But it's like, but they take care of everything. So it's like,
exactly.
It's like, well, what do you want? You can't have both of both worlds. I mean, I guess ideally you have everybody come to your website and or something, and then you don't have to worry about shipping. But
or like if we were in like the Midwest or something where like real estate was cheaper, do you know what I mean? And then you're more centrally located for shipping. But it's like, getting a 20,000 square foot warehouse in like San Diego, it'd be expensive. It would be less expensive than our 3PL for sure. But then there's a whole lot of other like costs that like I don't think we've like penciled out.
Personnel and building and rent and all this other crap.
Machinery or forklift or packaging and just all that other.
I have a buddy who did that. Like he was 3PLing it, and then now he like bought a warehouse in San Diego, and he's doing that. And it's like he had a I think it's a national city maybe, but like he had to staff it, put the shelving on, all that shelving stuff, like the whole 9 yards. I mean, it was because he told me he did the numbers, and it was like even doing all that was cheaper than what he's paying for the 3PL. So he was like, and he owns the building, so it's like, holy crap, he's not renting.
I think it definitely is cheaper. It's just, again, if you want to like
run a logistics company. I guess it would work if you could like become someone else's 3PL too. Like if you become the 3PL, and you're like, we're taking care of these other San Diego brands that are like, it doesn't have to be golf related, but it's like they're paying you to manage it. But then it's a whole other company in itself, I think. So it's like, being the
Yeah.
business of being a 3PL. No, you don't want to do that. So
No, that just sounds like a nightmare.
oh my God, I hate shipping. Shipping sucks.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always stress out about it. Like I sent an order in this week to Amazon, and my first order to do FBA, and it blew my mind how cheap it was to ship stuff into Amazon. Like it was like a 20-pound box, and you think like a 20-pound box in UPS would cost like, I don't know, $50, $60 to ship
Yeah.
out. It was like $8.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, dude, Amazon has the best rates with UPS.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Like to ship it into them. I mean, I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but it was like this blew. I was not expecting that. $7 for a 20-pound box. I was like, what the frick? So it's like,
Was it the towels?
yeah, it was the
Nice.
towels. It was like the accessories. Yeah. So I'm working on that for like.
You'll have it in there for the holidays.
Yeah, I shipped it in. Like they said, the closest one to me was Nevada. Like the center was or something. I'm like, there's one in Arizona. Like, why don't I ship to Arizona? But apparently, I don't know. You probably know more about that than I do. This is like my first fortune.
Yeah.
Now, what do you guys do for that? Do you have to ship in bags to Amazon when you do that?
What do we do for that?
Or or the 3PL just do it for you when somebody orders it?
No, I mean the 3PL like prepares it and everything, but we have to like schedule the pickup and give them the directions and the details and everything so then they can like ship it in correctly to Amazon, because we'll ship containers in there, and it's if it's not like shipped in like exactly correct, they like reject it.
And it's about a lot. And I mean, mine's small. My box, I mean, it's heavy, but it's small. But like, I can imagine too, like because your bag is a bag, it comes in a box. The box is big, so it takes up a lot of real estate. So it's like, that's cool though. I think.
Golf bags aren't like
they're not heavy, but they're big.
They're big. They take up a lot of space, and like they cost a lot to ship. So it's like when we were like, I guess figuring out like what product to launch, like that if I took my time or really tried to analyze like what would
golf tees.
Yeah, golf tees, right? But so like bags are like big and clunky, which is definitely a downside of like golf bags, just because like shipping is so expensive and like warehousing and everything like that.
It's cool though, man. This is what I love about what you guys are doing, is that like nobody's doing that. I mean, I know there's bags out there, but you literally found like this, like we talked about this before, like this corridor where like no one was touching it. Like you have either super expensive or you have like big cheap. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no like in between, and there's no, I don't know, like you found something that no one's ever touched it, or they're like, why would we make that? That's dumb. You gotta make a $500 golf bag or a $350 bigger normal bag, and I think it's really smart. That's cool, dude. Yeah. So like the initial designs, did you guys come up with those designs like for the Loma and all that, or what?
Yeah, we just kind of sketched them out. The product we launched with looked very different than the product we started with. But it starts kind of with the sketch, and then you get the first sample and you're like, we need to add this or take this away, hey, let's put the logo here, let's try that, and so it's just, there's like 2 or 3 like rounds of sampling and like product development. And like, once you're happy with it, you can kind of sign off on it and then put in like a mass production order.
Cross your fingers and be like, hopefully people will buy this. So when you guys launched though, did you just have one bag? Was it just like the Loma?
Yeah, we just launched with the Loma. It didn't have any like accessories like the towels or anything like that. But yeah, we were just like, and I think even today, like we're still very much squarely focused on like the Loma. And like the par 3 bag and just golf bags in general. But yeah, I mean, I don't think we've like really like, we've only scratched the surface, right? I think there's like there's a whole ton of players who haven't like heard of us or like the bag.
You barely scratched the surface.
Yeah. So it's like getting more players like, to use the bag either for the driving range or, the par 3 or executive courses.
So what are your sales channels then? You have like your website, right? And then you have Amazon. I know that for a fact. And then are you like in retail then? I'm assuming because you're meeting somebody today or this week.
Yeah, no, we got pretty lucky there at the start too. We're in at like Dick's, Golf Galaxy, PGA Tour Superstore, Shields.
Jeez.
A lot of like the big,
That's awesome.
a lot of the big big box stores, and then also a lot of like regional off course stores. I know like you have Vans in Arizona.
Yeah, they're part of that conglomerate, right? Or there's like 5 or 6. Like, what's it
Yeah,
called?
Worldwide
Called
Golf.
Yeah,
Worldwide
you guys
Golf.
have some. Yeah,
Yeah, up in San Diego, we have Golf Mart.
is that same? Are they part of the same group of guys or same companies?
Mhm.
5
Yeah.
or 6. Are they? I don't know if they're all owned by the same people or like they're just all independents that work together to compete.
Well, there's two. There's one company called Worldwide Golf, and they own a lot of regional stores.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
And then there's another group called the NGBA, which it's like all individual store owners that kind of are a part of like the National Golf Buyers Association, which they're like a good group of guys too.
Cool.
So we're in like some of those off course accounts, and then like we're just trying to grow the green grass presence, into like golf courses and things like that.
So, like, what would be the ideal golf course then? The par 3, an executive, or just like any course?
I think the par 3 for the Loma bag is obviously like the best case, and we've seen it do well even at like kind of like cheaper or like cheaper courses,
Munis?
right? Like don't even have like a pro shop or anything like that. It sells really well there because
that's the person who's using it.
Yeah, the bag makes a lot of sense for that course. And so that's what I thought we were only going to get. And it turns out though, like even at like higher end country clubs, like a lot of the members just like the utility of the bag. So it's been working well there as well. But I think the best case is like the par 3 courses.
Is that the hardest thing to do though, is to do green grass? Because then essentially you have to have sales reps and they have to go to the golf courses and they have to like put together these deals, and like, is that how you have to do it for yourselves? Like, is to literally go course to course, or like, I know there's like management groups that will manage a bunch of courses, but like most of the time they want to see the bag and they want to like have it.
Yeah, so we work with a team of like outside sales reps, and they're like commission based reps, and they typically have like 3 or 4 other lines, right? And like what I mean by lines is like they'll have like
independents, right?
Yeah, they're independents, and so like they'll have like an apparel brand, and then a sunglass
shoe,
and like headwear, and then like they'll take our bag on, right? So that's kind of the model. That's cool. Is definitely like, it seems like it's like a dying model though. Like I don't know, because all the reps now are like
the reps.
Yeah, they're like,
nobody wants to travel, dude.
Getting older and they're retired. Yeah. And it'd be hard for, I think, a young person to get into it because gas is so expensive. It's a lot of work.
And that's all relationship driven. It's all relationship.
Yeah. So we've struggled a little bit finding reps who are kind of like on the younger end and hungry, because a lot of the other reps, they're definitely like really good, but they're like, hey, I'm doing this for just a few more years, and I already have all my brands, right? I don't really want to take on anything new. I'm happy with what's working, and with the money I'm making, et cetera, et cetera. So that's been a bit of a challenge, but I think we're still pretty early. So next year we'll have more reps and so on and so forth.
I feel like my opinion is green grass is still an untapped market for a lot of brands, because I feel like, especially the new brands that come in the last 5 years, because of that exact reason. It's not easy, right? And I think like the big established brands, the big boys only have to do that because they just send their marketing dollars somewhere else, right? But like I feel like there's one brand I talked to that they said they're like at 150 golf courses. And they're a younger brand, like they're about 10 years old. And I was like, holy crap. Like, how'd you do that? And like, we literally went golf course to golf course and like, state by state and try to like do it. But
that's awesome.
But then there's a con to that too, because like from what I've been told, I don't know, but from what other brands have told me is that like, it's a huge pain in the ass, right? Because essentially they order stuff, and if it doesn't sell, they want to give it back to you. And you're like, no, you bought that. And then especially if it's apparel, like, dude, that was like last season stuff. So
yeah, luckily for golf bags, it's pretty like evergreen, right?
100%.
They'll sell through the bag. So that's where we do have a leg up versus like apparel. But yeah, it is a pain, especially like a lot of these guys, they like paying by check. And so we just get like all these like
And there's
really,
like a 90-day net or something. And
yeah,
I'm like,
and
bro,
you have
pay
like
us our money.
accounts payable. Yeah. So there's a lot of moving pieces, but like I can see how if we keep adding on accounts, like eventually like it'll like those pains will still be there, but like, there'll be like sizable revenue coming from it.
Have you guys
Hopefully.
ever done like customs or thought about it?
Custom bags?
Bag or like, yeah, and not colors and crap. Well, I guess you could do that, but like either custom artwork or like screen or printing on the bag. Like if you were to
We
do
do
a resort
custom.
or a
We
course.
do custom, and yeah, we do logos. So most of the country clubs who order from us, they get all their bags logoed, and then at the same time on our website, like if someone checks out, we offer custom embroidery.
So it's embroidery. That's how you guys do it. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Does a panel come off? Does the pocket panel come off, or was that where you put it?
Yeah, exactly. So the panel comes off, and then it's pretty easy to just kind of zip back up,
Yeah, that's what Vessel does. They have like a Velcro thing and it comes right off.
Yeah.
Panel come off. But not all bags do that. Like Minimal doesn't have that. Their panel is on there, but they paint their bags. That's what their customing is.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I mean, so what's coming up for you guys in the next like 6 months? Do you have anything new coming out, or you just continuing, or what's going on?
Yeah, so we got two products that we're really excited about. Like the first one is like these Porter Light hats. Like I'm wearing one right now, but it's
cool.
It's kind of like just a performance based hat. We got like a really light, like nylon, durable material, and we're hoping like, hey, this is like the hat that you can wear over and over again that doesn't get all like shitty and messed up after like one or two like wears out on the course. So our product designer Mike, he put a lot of time and like effort into like designing this hat, so we're excited to see how that does. And then the second thing is we're coming out with a new full-size stand bag called the Rider 20. Yeah, Rider 23. So I think spec-wise, it's, if it had like a bigger name brand on the bag, like TaylorMade or Callaway or whatever the case is, it would probably retail at like $250 and up. But we're going to put it at $225. So I think like the value for money is there, and so like we're really stoked on that bag. And just because we've been getting like a lot of requests from our customers, just saying, hey, I like this Loma bag or the Loma XL for the driving range and the par 3 course, but like when are you guys going to come out with like a full size bag for 18 holes and whatnot? So
it's like the evolution of and it's cool because you can do it, and if it works, then great, you can do another one. If it doesn't work, we'll say like, we'll do smaller bags because that's what people want.
Exactly. So the downside, there's a bigger market with the full size bag. The downside is it's definitely a lot noisier and it's like way more crowded, right? So we'll see.
But that point though, I mean, you're below everybody still, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can get some. There's still off brands that we don't really know about that might have a bag around that, but like not like people talk about those brands. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like it's a throwaway bag. Like, oh, it came with my push cart or something.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever thought about like branching out into other products outside of bags? I mean, you just said hats, but like other.
Yeah, we have hats, towels. We have some accessories on our site that sell really well, like some of like a cooler bag and a valuables pouch that do pretty well. I don't think we have any plans to like get off of bags like in the near term, but like who knows in 5 or 10
years. You just dabble, right? You test it and you're like, does it work? Like
yeah.
So it's a really good example of that is True Linkswear, because like they weren't shoes, and then now they're coming out with pants in the next month.
I saw that.
Like I just heard about it, and they're sending me some. Like they went from like in the last year and a half, they went from like shoes to to apparel, right? Which is going to
Yeah.
do really well. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and I think like that's cool to see brands do that. But like, you know, they gave me advice a long time ago. They're like, yeah, we just stay in our lane, dude. Like, we want to be the best shoe company like that we can be, and then we'll do other stuff. You know, we'll see how that turns out. But
Yeah. I
think
mean,
it's
I
cool.
think we're kind of taking the same approach, you know, for now, and it's also bandwidth, right? Like, you'd love to
True.
like
Didn't think about it.
you'd love to like do every product under the sun, but like realistically, when you're a small team, it's like, you know, you think you can do it all, and then like the
Don't
new
do
product-
gloves. Don't do
Yeah.
gloves, bro. I did that. Never again.
Yeah.
Like that. The margins are there, but like it's just too saturated, and then it's like production issues and
There's probably like a
gross.
high rate of returns too, because it like you have to like
break
fit.
and they rip, or they say, "Oh, this is the
Right.
wrong size," and you're like,
Mhm.
"That's on you." Like, you
Mhm.
don't know your
Mhm.
hand size. You know,
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
yeah, I would never. I'm just warning you. Don't do gloves. I did it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think I
So it's
lost
like
money on that.
I think we'll probably just focus on golf bags for the most part. You know, you'd love to like get into apparel, but like again, it's just it's a whole nother business, right? And it's like who's gonna manage it? Who you get new designers, new like
And
just
it's
the whole
very
bit.
cyclical, and you got to order out
Yeah,
like a year in advance, and like, how do you even know
totally,
you're gonna sell that shirt? And like,
totally.
you know, like, and there's so many new apparel brands now that are literally doing the exact
Yeah,
same thing. Like,
yeah,
it's just like,
yeah. No,
what do you
super
do?
crowded. Yeah,
Super crowded. It was never that crowded. Like 4
yeah,
years ago, it was not that crowded.
yeah,
But I also think it's it's interesting. Like, because you were talking about earlier, like, you know, even the same thing as with rangefinders. There's like, it's becoming a very crowded space too, because now
Mhm.
there's like, you know, freaking forever, everybody's making a rangefinder.
Yeah.
Unless you're an already established brand, then that's okay. But like, don't come out with a rangefinder anybody else, please, because it's essentially it's
Yeah,
all the same rangefinder. It all does the same
yeah,
thing, and you can't do
yeah,
a pricing war because it's like there's a million Chinese companies that are making the same thing on Amazon. So it's like,
yeah, yeah.
so what? So where are the bags you have now? You have the Loma, right? What are the other two? Loma XL.
Yeah, so we started with the Loma in 2020 and then had that for about 18 months and kind of listened to our customers. And they said, hey, I love the Loma. I just wish it held one or two more clubs and had a double strap. So then I can like
You're like, done.
Walk a full 18. Yeah. So pretty much we just took the same design as the Loma and just, increased it a little bit. And so that's called the Loma XL. And then the third bag that we came out with was the El Camino, and that holds like 10 clubs, and it's built for like made for like walkers, but also like comes with a plastic bottom so you can throw it on like a cart. Fits in the trunk really easily, so you're not always like having to like stuff it in there. And that holds 10 clubs. So the way like we've kind of now merchandised the bags is it's like 6 clubs, 8 clubs, 10 clubs. So really it like, the bag kind of fits to whatever style of golf you play. Right. And I know myself, like I really only use 12 clubs. So it's like, I play with the El Camino and they all fit in there. We just say, we do say 10 clubs just to kind of set expectations, especially if people have like extra wide grips or something like that. But yeah, it's proven to be like, we launched it in June. It's been pretty popular over the summer.
So when did that new bag come out? Is it coming out next year, or is it coming out this year before the holidays?
March of next year. So in time for golf season.
Is there anything going on with the holidays you guys are gonna be doing? Anything?
Yeah. So we're gonna start our holiday sale like next week or the week after next, but pretty early. But yeah, we're gonna have like 15% off site wide. Wow. But the better deal is, and we kind of ran something similar last year, and it did like way better than we thought. But it's a bundle, so basically for like a fixed price, you're gonna get a bag, hat, towels, and an accessory. So for like the Loma retails at like 120 or 125. Like we're gonna give like and like hat, towel, and accessory are each $30 items, give or take. So there's like another $90. So really, like the retail value is like $225 if I'm doing my math right. Yeah, and so we're just giving it away for like $150. You know, it's like kind of like out the door, you're gonna get a ton of stuff. So whether you give that as like,
that's so smart.
Yeah, whether you give
like,
it as like
you got all like someone buying
stuffers,
that.
yeah. So
Or even
people
if it's like for your husband or your kids or something, you're
Yeah.
like, oh look, we got you a new bag, towel, blah 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 blah. You know,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool. That's smart. It's
yeah,
interesting the bundle did better than you guys thought too, like a bundle like that. But I guess that makes
yeah,
sense too. You know,
yeah. People just really liked, I think, just getting a whole bunch of stuff. So it is like a higher price point than just buying the bag, but like in terms of like a deal, it's a way better deal. So this year we're like really just trying to like focus on that.
that's cool.
Mhm.
Well, like I said the first time we talked, like I'm a big fan of what you guys are doing. I thought when I first saw them, like, oh, those guys are smart. Like, because no one's doing it. You guys have found a vein that, a lot of new players especially want, right? They don't want to go
Mhm.
spend a fortune on a new bag, and why should you? And so, I mean, to me, I think you guys make phenomenal bags. We've already reviewed some of them. I'm gonna do a couple more videos on some of the new bags coming out, but
Yeah.
I'm a fan. You guys need to freaking check out Sunday Golf bags. Like, seriously, like if you're looking for a cool bag that you can like carry to the course, carry to the range, play 9 holes. You can play 18 with it if you want, then this is it. And it's not gonna set you back $400. So like, so it's really, really smart what you guys did. Kudos. I don't say that to a lot of people. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, you did that. But like, you got for reals. I know. And I didn't like when first I talked to you too, and you're like, oh yeah, I have this background in China. I was like, what? For reals?
Yeah.
I need to come visit you guys. Like the next time I come to San Diego, I should like come. We should go play that part 3 and film it. That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
definitely. If you're staying like downtown, like we got like a simulator at the office too. And yeah, the part 3 is just like down the street. So
I'll go play at Coronado.
yeah, Coronado's great. If we can get a tee time though, that's the thing. It's so friggin' hard to get a tee time there.
Still? Yeah. I'm thinking
Yeah.
post-COVID, man. Tell
'Cause
the
they're like
Arizonans go there.
Well, they're semi private, and so like the members obviously get like the first pick at tee times like on some of the days, and then the other days it's like you're getting kind of like
What's that
10
course
o'clock
by
and
the
up.
zoo?
Balboa.
Oh, is that nice? I've driven by.
Yeah, it's a nice course. They're all courses in San Diego for the most part I think are pretty nice.
Yeah. Duh, right?
Yeah,
Should
yeah.
be like
Yeah.
Carlsbad's right there too.
Well, it was fun. We actually just played Mission Bay golf course at night. Like we got the little glow balls, and like they obviously have like lights kind of like throughout the course, and it was awesome. It was a great time, and
Really?
it was like
That'd be
convenient, and like you're like, okay, I'm able to go after work, and we played at like 6 to 7:30, and maybe 6 to 8. There's 18 holes, but like it's a shorter course, but like the night golf thing, man, that's underrated.
Really? I've never tried.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to.
It
Like
was
a couple
cool.
of courses.
It was my first time.
I heard my buddy went. He said it's kind of expensive because like they charge you more because they're like, oh, because the ball cost like you have to buy the ball, right? Is that how it works?
No, my buddy he bought like some on
Amazon.
and they work like really well, and they like you just see them like streaking through the sky. So it's
So
pretty
easy
cool
to find it too. You're just like,
Yeah,
oh, there's a ball right there.
Yeah, you can't hit them as far, and they're like the quality's a little shittier. But like if everyone's playing, with one of those balls, then it's all like fair game. Yeah.
Did you guys walk it or you rode it?
Yeah, we walked it. It's
With
like
your Sunday
a
bag?
little, yeah, exactly. It's like a little executive course. So I feel like by the time you'd like park and get out of the cart, you'd be like exerting more energy.
I played a course in LA in July, and it was a par 3, but
Oh,
Top
yeah.
Golf owned it.
Yeah. How was
I don't know
that?
what it's called. It was cool as hell, dude. I mean,
It's
it
like
was
the lakes or something like that.
yeah, it was really
Yeah.
really cool. Like
Yeah.
they don't have that in there. Like, oh my god, this would like I don't know. I think that's like the ideal thing. It was really nicely well taken care of. Like, it's really the one thing I didn't like though. My only negative to it, which I mean, was that like they're blaring music on every hole, like blaring. It's like so loud, but
too loud. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So like, you trying to we tried to
Yeah.
film it. We tried to film
Yeah.
it, and it was terrible because like essentially you have all this loud music and you're trying to talk, and it's like
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. No, I want to check it out.
Well, we can do that. Maybe we could do like a tournament. Like it could be minimal golf or Sunday golf at Top Golf.
I think whatever his name is,
Sam.
Yeah,
Sam's really good, dude. He's really good.
I would not agree to that because
actually, I'll be on his team though. So then I'll be his handicap. I'll be like, it's combined score.
Yeah.
Actually, I just released a YouTube video where he gave me a golf lesson, and it like blew my mind. And I was like, "Holy crap!"
Oh, that's sick.
He's a good dude, man. He's cool. But well, thank you for being on the show. I know you're super tired, you guys. He just flew into like Atlanta like not that long ago, and he had to wait for his room, and so he's like getting us in before his day starts. Probably wants to go to bed right now.
No, I do, but I'm gonna go get a Red Bull and like keep going or get some.
Just tell your partner to go back to sleep.
Yeah. Well.
But you guys, where can they find Sunday Golf?
Just at the website, sundaygolf.com, or on Instagram, sundaygolf_CO.
They're crushing that on Instagram too, by the way. And that's all Ronan. By the way, I forgot to add that.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Well, cool. Well, thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate it. You guys check out Sunday Golf. They make some, really amazing bags, and you guys support them. So I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Behind the Golf Brand Podcast.
You're gonna beat me at golf?
Stay connected on and off the show by visiting golfersauthority.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment.
Golf is always more fun when you win.
Stay out of the beach and see you on the green.